we go, 10:03 in the heart of the Riverbend on this 5th day of December, and we got a great conversation coming up with the new chief of police for the City of Alton, and he already took my license plate, so we'll see how that goes. Chief Ford, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. And how has it been? It's been about a month so far, about 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3-4 weeks. It's been very good.
Good.
Very smooth transition. I was the assistant chief before with Marcos Polito as the chief, and so very much was a part of everything that was already going on. So really, I'm just carrying on what we had been working on, and just trying to further that. Plenty of new things as well, but it's just been really, really smooth. Even like I said, to the point of like,
it's coming.
It's been really so smooth that I'm like, all right, something's got to happen. But I'm trying not to be pessimistic there, and just. I really couldn't be more thankful for how smooth it's been. And a lot of that is, as a result of Chief Polito and his leadership and how he transitioned out. And then also now that, I've still got a really great team with me. My assistant chief, John Frankie, and then we've got a new captain. And so they're kind of getting situated in their new roles and figuring out what that looks like. So.
Well, I was wondering, because I'm going, man, it's great that you got this new title, and, because you've been working really hard and Marcus is moving on, but it's like, man, the holiday season's like the worst time to get sworn in because of all the rush. But you seem like you guys had a really nice team, beforehand, so it made it perfect.
Yeah. Well, Polito and I, we've been friends for a long time, and we've worked together in a ton of different capacities throughout the years. So, and it started when we were both in detectives, and we just developed that chemistry and friendship to where it just helped so much. And then as we progressed in our careers, it somehow turned out that he's the chief and I'm the assistant chief, which neither of us ever saw coming. It wasn't on the radar.
That's funny. So that really wasn't anything on your trajectory.
He'll tell you the same thing. Like those positions have never been on either of our radars, but truly, we're both grateful that those opportunities have been given to us, and so. But when we landed in that spot, we very much the day one we had a discussion to where. What are our roles in these various spots? So we knew going into it that he's Marcos, right? Like everybody loves Marcos, and he's a really good just person to be out there, the public figure, if you will, the face. So we knew okay, that's going to be his role, and then my role as the assistant chief was always. I'm going to do everything to make the police department run correctly and well, and also make him look good while he's out there. So together, we both knew that, and we went at it hard, and we had a really successful run at it. So truly grateful for that time with him.
Well, you did. And when Marcus took over and you stepped in as the deputy chief, I mean, it was so cool because the videos started coming out. You guys were more hands-on with the community, talking to people, get to know them. Was that something you guys was day one what you wanted?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
That was part of the plan. We knew that was something that we wanted to accomplish. And he ran with that so well, and the videos were a hit.
They really were.
And I probably shouldn't admit this. I tried to make a video recently, and I was like, "Yeah, no."
You're calling Marcus on the non-emergency line.
We're deleting that. But yeah, he was just so great at that, and now that he's over his new position with the sheriff's office, it's actually truly not only wonderful for him, but it's also wonderful for myself in Alton, and then just Madison County in general. We've got such a connection that we're basically in contact with each other pretty much every day, and even though he's over there now,
and that's what I was kind of wondering, because with that being such a close relationship, I figured it would just kind of go further on this.
It is perfect for both of us, because I saw him this weekend at a gathering, and he was already mentioning things. He's like, well, I'm going to probably do this because we did it at Alton, and then he's telling me things that they've done over there at county, and I'm like, oh, we're going to take that. So it's going to make both agencies better for our officers and deputies, and just in general, and obviously also just for the communities, because it's not just the internal stuff that he and I worked on. Like I said, it's all about getting out there, being seen.
Well, the community policing that
community.
you guys did was fantastic. Getting everybody out there, especially downtown, to be able to not feel scared having, or like, oh, I'm getting watched. It's just a nice, hey, how are you doing, sir? And just a nice, relationship with the law enforcement.
That was all part of day one, literally day one. So, and we had this conversation actually on the last day that he was at Alton. We accomplished a lot of what we want to accomplish, but there's still so much to be done.
Right.
And so very proud of that. And then he knows that he's going over there to continue to do what he does, and then I'm going to continue it here. So together, both agencies and community, just the community as a whole is just going to be better off, I feel.
That's what I kind of got out of it, is we're going to be stronger out of this for both, whether it's the county or down here locally, just in town. And that's great. Well, take us through this. Whenever you kind of got told, or Marcus is going to be moving on because there's no one running, against Connor, and we kind of know it. Were you thinking right off the bat, this is coming, or is it like me going, oh, something's going to happen?
Yeah. No. So first off, like, he'll tell you this too, like that was never on his radar.
Really?
The plan was always for him to do much longer.
That's what I thought.
At Alton as the chief and me as the deputy chief. And that's why some of our stuff never got done.
Right.
We had a very much shortened time period than we actually realized that we were going to have. So, that was never on his radar. And then even when he told me about it, I never, like I've never really been the person that like strived or saw myself in one of these positions. I always wanted to make it to like the rank of lieutenant in my career, and then I would have been satisfied. So right now, this is just kind of icing on the cake for me. And I'm, it is amazing and truly just what a great opportunity, and just very grateful for that. But it wasn't the plan.
Right.
But when he said that, he later came to me and said, hey, like, what would you be interested in this if, so long as the mayor and the city council are in agreement with it? And I said, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I understand the enormous, like, it's just such a huge responsibility, but I don't feel like it's something that I'm not capable of succeeding at. And I think that we've been building up to this anyhow. So let's run with it and let's do this. So once he said that, I never looked back, and I said, all right, full steam ahead, let's do it.
Let's do it. That's great. And for people that don't know how that process goes, you don't have to say how it all word for word, because even though I know, it's really interesting for our listeners and our viewers to kind of see how this process goes. So whenever you're getting ready to be nominated, it goes through city council and it goes through that vote. Do you have an initial meeting with the mayor? Because what he's done with Marcus and bringing you and having you guys with this team was a great call on his part too.
Yeah, I mean ultimately it is up to the mayor and then the subsequent vote by the city council members. So we met with Mayor Goins, talked about what we envisioned it being and how it looked and the plans and things like that. So it's one of the things that actually that I remember most about that conversation though is he said, well, let's I'm in favor of this. Let's pray on it.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, man, like, let's do that. So we did, and then we had a little bit. I don't know how long after we had another little meeting, and he and I both said, okay, so we prayed on it. And I said, yeah, I'm good. Like, this is it. So, and he's like, me too. So he's been nothing but supportive of me and the police department. And truly thankful for that. And then obviously the city council members vote on it. So that occurred 3-4 weeks ago. And just, they've honestly, even before that vote or anything, they've been so
that's what I was going to ask you.
Supportive of the police department and our needs. So I never really, I never have worried about like, am I, if I need this, are they not? They've been so supportive, and they're always focused on public safety and our officer safety. So I honestly, I hear stories about other cities and big, not even just in this area, but outside of here, that don't have that support, and man, that's got to be tough. But I thankfully have not had to deal with much of that, so that's good.
Yeah, and thank you for painting that, because that's what I kind of got out of it. Is it was a great move by Mayor Goins with keeping Marcus where he was, and then having you guys have this kind of dynamic team that really helped grow and advance a lot of what you got, the policing that we were doing, and expand it. So That kind of where we're at now, a perfect segue is what's the plan? I mean, I know you said that some things aren't done yet and you're just getting started. You're going to be here for the long haul, it seems like.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Well, how much time you got?
However much you got.
I have. So I've always Polito says this. That I'm the idea guy. So I've got a ton of ideas. I'll try to keep. I'll focus on the more important things. So in the very near future, we're looking at this. You know, a lot of it's been discussed about this Safety Act and some of the changes that are coming because of that. That's going to be a big deal for us. Changes the way that we handle a lot of things, both on a particular scene and then after. So right now we're focusing on what does that look like? How are we going to ensure that we're following the new law? And I don't think people realize that how much it actually impacts every little aspect of what we do from start to finish.
And that's what that could be a whole show itself with the and I wanted to wait until after because there's so many people saying 8,000 different things and no one knows and then we all don't. And so I was like, I'll get Jared on first and we'll have Chief Ford come on in January and have us all figure this out,
Yeah. Well, so I am truthfully, and I think anybody will tell you that we're all still figuring it out.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I don't know how this will pan out, but it's been talked about that there'll be even changes made to that bill before January 1.
Okay.
Can't swear to that.
Right.
I'm just telling you word of mouth what I'm hearing. I don't know what those changes are yet, so I'm kind of playing. Let's wait and let's figure this out, and it's hopefully coming in the next week or so where we'll have more definitive answers, and then we can, as a police department, figure out what that looks like for us in terms of our day-to-day operations and how we make sure that we're within those guidelines of the new law.
Absolutely.
So, beyond that, actually probably just shortly beyond that, early in 2023, we're hoping that our body cameras that we've ordered are in. So that's probably March, April-ish. So, and once they're in, we got to figure out how they work and all of that. So that's very much a process as well.
No, not to cut you off, but I didn't realize that we didn't have body cameras yet.
We don't. Polito and I, day one. Actually, truthfully, we had talked about that before we even hit those roles about how much we wanted them because we truly believe that those cameras will show that not only ourselves, but our officers and the whole department are doing what we're supposed to do. Right. Now, I'll say 99.9% of the time because there are times where, we're human. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. Yeah. I'll be the first one to tell you that we don't always get it right. We're very much a human industry, just like any job. But we strive to always get better. Striving for that progress, and we truly feel that those cameras will help show that day in and day out we really are doing what's good for the community and what's best.
Absolutely.
So I'm very much looking forward to that, the accountability, the transparency that those bring. I already see it day in and day out, but nobody else really gets to. With those, I feel like, oh man, that's so much more of a community, a way to connect with the community to go, hey, look, like this is what was said and done by these officers. This is the situation. So. There's nothing to hide. This is what it is. This is
up in the air. Here you go.
Absolutely. Yep. So for me, I'm very much looking forward to that. I know the officers are too. They're a little apprehensive just about how it works.
Well, yeah.
But like anything with any change, there's always that little bit of apprehension. But like in essence, we did a survey actually to see how our officers felt about it. Overwhelming majority was in favor of getting these body cameras.
Well, I'd say so, and I'm a huge, I'm definitely a back the blue type of person. I've very much respect for what you guys do, and even on the fire side of things, my brother at East Alton, what first responders you guys provide for us is we can't thank you enough. So I mean the body cam, it's not to me it's not a political issue. It's just a good thing to have.
It's really not. It's just to me it's another piece of equipment that we should have, and that's why we knew how expensive this project is, and we knew we didn't have necessarily the budget for that, so we went out and got a grant, and now we're able to pay for it. They're ordered, and hopefully here soon.
Now, I know I hate to throw this on you because I do this to everyone and throw these questions out there, but how long, do you know, right off the bat, how long things are going to be on a server or something, so if there is an issue, does it go back 30 days or 90?
So, okay, we're actually going to pay the company that we're ordering the cameras from to store our footage.
Oh, wow.
I'm basically on a cloud type service. So that way we don't have to worry about it in-house or any problems with
Right.
that. And so kind of just alleviate some of those concerns on our end. Then as far as retention goes, there's various laws that we have to follow in terms of, something that is serious, obviously gets held for a certain amount of years and does not get deleted. So it's very hard to answer that.
Right.
I just I know what it says, but obviously the things that are important get kept for a long time, and then certain things that amount to absolutely nothing are only kept for a 90-day type period.
Me barely stumble into my to an Uber after a night at Cat Daddy's is going to go out in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It's not going to be it's not going to be stored there forever. So
John Hentrick is going, CJ, just stop talking. No. So we got the body cam. We got a couple of minutes left. So maybe what's some of the maybe a bigger thing else that's coming down the line?
Well, long term, one of the things that I've been really trying to work on is employee wellness.
Oh yeah.
Our guys and gals have a tough job.
Without a doubt.
They see a lot of stuff that just an ordinary person doesn't see day in and day out. No. And honestly, like I said, we're human.
Right.
And some of that trauma does affect us, right? We may not realize it. But nonetheless, in 2000, and I'll say 18 or 19, Polito and I started our kind of first step towards we call it our Healthy Minds program. And in essence, it doesn't have to be anything wrong necessarily, but it's more so to develop some sort of relationship with a counselor or something like that. So in case you ever need
it.
And then we made sure that it was a very almost actually you can go 4 times to a counselor throughout the year for no cost to you whatsoever. And then we'll actually reward you for that with some time off. And it's just our way of going, hey, take care of yourselves. Whether something's wrong or not, it's a good thing for you. And then you also have developed that relationship with a counselor if you ever do have something.
Right.
That program's actually continued to grow, and we've included spouses and children now. So we cover some of that expense to a certain extent. And then one of the things this 2023 I'd like to add on is some of our retirees. I'd like to get the funding to include them in this program as well, because I didn't know this till probably about a year ago, but the number one category of suicides in law enforcement is actually retired officers.
Really?
So,
wow.
So to me, getting them into this program, finding that funding to do it is paramount. I've got some other crazy employee wellness ideas. I'm trying to maybe partner with somebody locally to try and maybe cater in healthy foods.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when you're out there on the street, the options out here, if you didn't prepare and you didn't have time to bring in something good for yourself, you're stuck with fast food.
Quick Trip or McDonald's.
Yeah. And that's fine when you need to,
right.
But I'm trying to promote a little bit of taking care of yourself, health. And so trying to find a company locally that would maybe be able to accommodate that to where, the officers are there in the morning, they place their order, and boom, it shows up at lunchtime. And so you at least have a healthy option. Other ideas, I'm going to try and we've very much discussed this, and it's getting close, but a lot of places have bought dogs that are not only used for the employees, but in our instance, it would be for victims too.
Great
Almost
idea.
like a therapy type dog or a comfort dog, if you will. So I'm in the initial stages of researching some of that, funding as well.
Right.
So a lot of it always just boils down where's the money going to come from? Because I don't like to do a lot of these projects are not from our budget or taxpayer dollars. Right. I go out and I try and find other sources of funding that still accomplish, what we're trying to do, but without costing the city or taxpayers, too much money. So,
man, Chief Ford, we could talk here all day. I'm excited to see how this next couple of years go, and probably a little bit longer than that. You're in it for the long haul, and Mayor Goins did a great job with naming you seriously.
Thank you.
All the mental health aspects and the community policing, Alton's in good hands, man.
Thank you.
Alton's in good hands. It's 10:22. We're going to take a quick break, and anytime you got something to talk about, come back on this show.
I will do so.
In
Thanks
the heart of the
me.
River Bend, quick break. Bengali's up next. We learn all about So You Think You Can Braid right after this in downtown Alton.